This is CBC Here and Now.
Two particular points that really, I guess, shocked me and to a degree very much angered me.
Missing notebooks, accusations of dishonesty,
and a vault somewhere deep inside Confederation Building. The Auditor General holds nothing back during today's Muskrat Falls inquiry.
Good evening and welcome to Here and Now. I'm Debbie Cooper.
And I'm Anthony Germain.
Well, Nalcor, or more specifically, former CEO Ed Martin was dishonest when it came to disclosing Muskrat Falls costs to the provincial government. A powerful statement, and it came today from a very powerful public servant.
Terry Roberts is on this story, and he joins us now with details on what will likely be a very memorable moment from the Muskrat Falls inquiry. So Terry, set the stage for us, would you?
Yes, Anthony. Well, many of us have been waiting a very long time for today's witness. It was Julia Mullally. Now, she was the province's top public servant for 3 years, beginning in mid-2013. Now, this was a critical period for the project, and she came to the inquiry today and didn't hold back. Based on what she's learned through the inquiry, Mullally says Ed Martin wasn't telling the whole story. Sold to the public at a capital cost of $6.2 billion, but that quietly increased by $300 million prior to a financing deal in late 2013. And it turns out Nalcor's project team was projecting an even higher number earlier than that.
This shocked me and it angered me, actually.
Why did this information anger you?
Well, because, I mean, a minute ago we were talking about 6.5, but when I saw that in July, that this was actually looking at $7 billion, I can't imagine as a public servant here knowing that information and not bringing that in. You still had time to come in and have a real discussion around the merits of this, the challenges around this, and this is where some real solid analysis should have happened, I believe.
Now, Mullally says Ed Martin consistently told government there were pressures on the project, but that the cost and schedule could be maintained. But she says evidence uncovered by a forensic audit makes it clear the project was in trouble and that Martin wasn't telling the whole story.
That's what angers me, I guess, is that I feel like this almost second set of numbers are here that no one ever knew about. And, but those questions were being asked, but they weren't honestly being answered.
How would you characterize the presentations that you've just referred to?
I would characterize them as not honest and not open.
Now, this $300 million increase in 2013, well, it's come up many times at the inquiry. Mullally says she didn't know about it until months later. Senior politicians, including a finance minister, have testified they were in the dark. But according to evidence, some public servants were aware, and that is not sitting well with Mullally.
Generally, if senior officials like that know the number, it's very standard process. I would know the number, the ministers would know the number, the premier. That would be standard. So it bothered me when I could see them in the email.
And if all of this wasn't enough to digest today, the mystery about where Julia Mullally's Muskrat Falls notes were during her time as clerk also took a strange twist today. Mullally was ordered by Inquiry Commissioner Richard LeBlanc to go up to Confederation Building during a break-in proceedings and look for her notebooks inside a special vault where documents are kept. She came back about 90 minutes later, empty-handed. Now, it appears her notes were discarded after she left the clerk's position in 2016. Debbie?
Thanks very much. That's Terry Roberts reporting for us live tonight. Well, reporters got a chance to put all of this to the former CEO today. Here's how Ed Martin responded when Terry asked him about the AG's testimony and her claims she didn't receive honest information.
I think that's a ridiculous statement, but that being said, once again, that's why I'm here today. You know, the process that has developed here at the Commission is that there's a series of people, witnesses that come up, and they're asked a series of questions. The context that I or someone else could provide often doesn't come until weeks or sometimes months afterwards. And I think that's the difference here, and that's one of the reasons I'm here today is that, you know, unless those things are balanced at a given time, it sort of takes on a life of its own as to what's happening, but without the full picture, it's difficult for people to understand.
A volunteer organization says it has had it with the Royal St. John's Regatta Committee. For the first time in nearly 4 decades, the St. John's East Kinsmen Club will not be running the beer tent come Regatta Day. Here now's Meg Roberts is lakeside tonight. So Meg, where's all this coming from?
It's a pretty bold statement. The Kinsmen Club said that the Regatta Committee, it's their arrogance and disrespect that has stopped them from putting on the beer tent this year, along with increasing fees. The Kinsmen Club said the Regatta Committee wants to oversee everything, including the invoicing before any beer sales are made. The Kinsmen says it has 37 years of experience selling beer at the event, and the request has pushed them over the edge.
It is a lot of work to put this thing together, and unfortunately the Regatta Committee, I guess, figures they can do it themselves, or I don't know what it is, but it was their attitude that stopped us from going ahead this year. And it was the arrogance of the committee, I guess, that led us to the decision that we can't deal with those type of people.
It costs $15,000 to run the beer tent. Profits can vary depending on the weather down at the lake, but all money made goes back to charity. The Kinsmen Club believes the Regatta Committee wants to take over the operation. Now, those thoughts were echoed by the executive director of the Hub, a physical disabled service center in St. John's. The charity used to have a booth at the Regatta, but says it got too expensive to participate.
The question I have to ask, and I'm sure everybody is asking, is what are they doing with all of the money? You know, $1,100 per team to register. The average concessionaire is spending $500 for frontage. So, you know, where's all the money going? Has anybody ever seen a financial statement from the Regatta Committee? I haven't.
The Kinsmen Club says that they have not heard back from the Regatta Committee. However, CBC did reach out to the committee and received an emailed statement saying that all vendors and rowing crews were subjected to a 10% increase this year, which is the first increase in about 5 years. Now, as for the fate of the beer tent at the Regatta, the committee is supposed to meet tonight to discuss whether or not there will be one. Reporting live in St. John's, I'm Meg Roberts for Here and Now.
Thank you very much.
Corey Hart is back in Newfoundland ahead of his concert at Mile 1.
And today he gave a special performance and some serious swag to his school in Torbay. More on that story in about 5 minutes.
Well, that weather improved just as expected through the day today. Take a look at the satellite and radar. You can see we're seeing some clearing skies. If we take a live look at what it looks like outside, blue skies, and as we head through the evening tonight, those temperatures are going to drop just a little bit, but we did see an absolutely beautiful afternoon. Temperatures sitting in the double digits right across the board, essentially, except if you're along the northeast coast, just a little bit cooler in those single digits. Now, as I mentioned, we are going to see some showers, or we're already starting to see some showers for Green Bay, White Bay along the northeast coast. That's going to continue as we head through the night tonight, but tomorrow looks like another lovely day for the island anyway. I'll have all the details coming up.
A runner originally from this province died Sunday after running in the Ottawa Marathon. Police say the man in his 30s went into cardiac arrest and died in hospital. His name has not been released. Tim Powers, another runner from this province who took part in the race, said he was shocked at the news. Powers says the weather in Ottawa was humid on Sunday, and he saw a number of runners struggling with the heat.
A man in Paradise says he's in a battle with the town. Despite paying taxes for decades, he doesn't have sewer services to his home. And as Here Now Sees Here reports, the resident is not impressed with the town's timeline for getting his house connected.
It seems like the people here, the council in town are here to rule the people, not to serve the people. So that don't seem to be right to me, but that's the way they work it down there.
Kevin French has lived here on Harcourt Road in Paradise for 40 years and says it's terrible that after all this time, he's still not hooked up to the town sewer system, and he's not alone.
There's 3 houses here. The other 2 houses besides mine been here longer than mine.
Most, but not all houses on Harcourt are connected to the town sewer system. Installed 22 years ago, in 1997, 3 houses were left out because the street goes uphill, and the houses beyond the crest of the hill couldn't get sewer at the time without a lift station, which was too costly. French's frustration grows watching sewer now going to houses nearby. Houses on the next street over, only a few hundred feet away. Houses like his left off the sewer list 22 years ago because of the same hill.
Clearview is being done right now. They left this street out. The only reason Clearview is being done because they're putting a roundabout. It would make more sense to do this street along with Clearview.
Paradise Mayor Dan Bobbitt can explain. He says the houses on the street next to French are getting sewer now simply because of the road work.
We've got money to do the road work and widening of the road work. So obviously when the road is torn up already, then we finish off the whatever's in that area. If we got to tear, we wouldn't want to tear it up twice. We wouldn't want to pave the road and then have to tear it up a year later.
But there is hope for French down the road. Mayor Bobbitt says Harcourt is on a list to get sewer, a list that once had 47 streets. It's now down to 11 and should be down to 0 in 4 to 5 years. Cesaire, CBC News, Paradise.
14 people who were accused of mischief and disobeying a court order at the Muskrat Falls site are no longer facing criminal charges. The Crown withdrew the charges which related to actions taken at the site in late October 2016. Protests there hit a peak when a group of about 50 people entered the work site and refused to leave. The Crown withdrew the criminal charges, saying the same set of circumstances were dealt with in a civil proceeding at Supreme Court.
It means we're not criminals, and hopefully it means for other protectors like water protectors everywhere that they're not criminals as well. And even though it's been 3 years out, or almost 3 years out, it's like the light at the end of the tunnel now. So it gives me more hope that justice will be served, that Nellcor will be held accountable.
Air Canada is trying to catch up after a technical problem Tuesday night caused hours of delays and flight cancellations. The outage affected the airline's check-in systems, call centers, and airport software for more than 3 hours. And the issues forced dozens of cancellations and stranded many travelers both in Canada and the United States. Air Canada says it has added additional flights and bigger planes to try to get everything back on schedule, but the airline hasn't said what caused the problem.
Earlier this week, we told you how the Fluvarium in St. John's is struggling financially. So much so, it's selling the art right off its walls. Well, at an auction last night, an original Mary Pratt painting brought in $13,000 for the foundation. Bonfire was painted by Pratt in 1997 and was gifted to the Fluvarium. The Toronto auction company behind last night's sale waived its fees to help the foundation. The Fluvarium says a lack of corporate sponsorship is to blame for its financial state. Suncor pulled its annual $65,000 donation last year. The foundation will use the money from the painting to pay staff salaries. More than 10,000 children come through the doors of the Environmental Education Centre each year.
Well, something of a surprise today, to say the least, for students at Juniper Ridge Intermediate in Torbay. Instead of classes, they got a surprise concert from somebody who was recently on Here and Now with Carolyn Stokes. It's Corey Hart.
That would be Corey Hart. And this all happened today thanks to the school's musical director, Deanne Cody. She contacted the education charity Music Counts, hoping to get instruments for the new school.
And that all paid off with $10,000 worth of new instruments. And our Zach Gowdy was the event's MC today.
Music Counts donates musical instruments to schools right across Canada, and today, it's your turn. And we are also joined by one very special guest. He is in town to kick off a cross-Canada tour that starts on Friday night down at Mile 1 Centre, but he came a few days early just to be here with you. So please join me in giving a big Juniper Ridge Intermediate welcome to Canadian icon, Corey Hart!
Sunny leaves on a farm, on a wide open space, where you can kick off your sneakers and give up the race. You can let down your head by the sweet riverbed, but Sonny always remembers what it was his mama said.
My friends back there, their names are Ileana and Elise. One of the songs, they started crying because their favorite song is a song that he wrote when he was around 14 years old.
Your music teacher made all this possible, hey?
Yeah.
How proud are you of her today?
Really proud. She's the best music teacher we could ask for. She is.
How did it feel for you today when you got that shout out from Corey Hart, from all the students here who appreciate what you do?
Very overwhelming. I couldn't contain the tears in my eyes when I saw everybody stand to congratulate such a good music program here at Juniper Ridge.
Who wants to see what $10,000 worth of musical instruments looks like?
Music Count's donating the instruments to the students and to the school gives the children an opportunity to go to music, because music is a refuge for people. Like I mentioned on stage, I think music is the best health food there is. Even if you're not going to sing or you're not going to have a career in music, it's just something very, very powerful. And I encourage everyone to keep music in their lives.
Wow.
Great
Yeah,
for the school, and the school, of course, is so grateful to Music Counts for their generous donation.
Yeah, and Corey Hart also added something else to sweeten the pot. 400 free tickets to his Friday night concert at Mile 1. So many of those happy students you saw there probably going to the show this Friday.
It's a fairly simple idea. It was designed to make it easier to get the crab meat out of the crab shell.
Meet the Robo Crab.
The broadcast Jane 80 has an update on some homegrown technology that's getting international recognition.
East Coast Trail Association was born 25 years ago. It was 1994, and this was the start. I probably shouldn't have worn this on the hike today, but at the big Trailraiser hike on Saturday, June 8th, you can do the East Coast Trail your way.
Join CBC NL at the annual Trailraiser hike in support of the East Coast Trail Association. The fun starts in Bay Bulls with 5 hikes to choose from.
It's skipping.
Register online at eastcoasttrail.com.
It's been a while since Zach's actually dressed for the right kind of weather.
What a great day, certainly in our neck of the woods. You were out for a run.
I was.
I was down on the waterfront with Jane 80. We're going to see that in a moment.
Yeah.
And it felt wonderful.
It did. Light winds too, which was quite nice. But yeah, those temperatures bumped right up today. If we take a look at the highs that we saw in the double digits for the majority, it did take some time to see that cloud cover clear out, but overall a beautiful afternoon for the majority of the island. We are still seeing some cloud cover though, which is keeping some cooler temperatures up along the northern portion of the island. 5 degrees in St. Anthony, Twillingate, Bonavista, all in those single-digit highs, or single-digit temperatures right now. Happy Valley Goose Bay at 6 degrees as we speak, and I mentioned some of that cloud cover. So some of those showers that we talked about yesterday did develop this afternoon, and they're heading towards, or already over Green Bay, White Bay, but they're going to continue to spread a little bit further towards the coast and central as we head through the night tonight, and we can see that on the future tracker. Now, for the coast of Labrador, still looking at that potential for some showers, flurries, and or freezing drizzle tonight. That's probably what's going to happen for the northern peninsula, as those temperatures are going to be quite cool as we head through the overnight tonight. Otherwise, we're looking at generally fair skies towards the morning hours. So those temperatures, like I said, a little cooler, 0 degrees for St. Anthony, so I have that risk of freezing drizzle in there and or flurries. Otherwise, between 2 and 3 degrees, a little bit warmer for St. John's, sitting around 5 degrees tonight, but under partly cloudy skies. Clear skies, the story for Marystown. Your temperature going to dip to 2 degrees tonight. Lab City will start to see some shower activity move in. 1 degree overnight tonight with those southeasterlies 20 to 40 kilometers per hour. Otherwise, we're looking at either rain or snow for Happy Valley Goose Bay and 3 degrees. And then same for the Straits. Again, have that risk of freezing drizzle in there for you overnight tonight. So as far as tomorrow goes, actually looks pretty beautiful. A little bit more sunshine than we saw today. Maybe a few spits for the northern peninsula, but other than that, not a whole lot happening. It is up through Labrador where we're going to see that the rain develop, especially for Lab City or Lab West in general, really. That's going to make its way towards Happy Valley Goose Bay as we head towards the evening hours with more rain moving in late day for Lab City. So not a great day for you for Lab West. So here's a look at those temperatures. Pretty similar to what we saw today, maybe even a few degrees warmer. 17 in Marystown, it looks like. 16 in Clairville. Bonavista sitting around 8 degrees. With some winds around 15 kilometers per hour. So light winds again tomorrow. 15 for Grand Falls, Windsor, Harbor Breton sitting around 13 with plenty of sunshine, it looks like. Same thing for the west coast. Corner Brook likely going to reach a high close to, if not near 18 degrees or at 18 degrees. Grossmoor and 12. Bayvert still sitting at around 9 degrees. Now, I still have that potential for a few showers in for St. Anthony at 6 degrees. Those winds are going to stay generally light across the province. Cartwright with that risk of a few flurries. Keeping that temperature around 10 degrees tomorrow for Happy Valley Goose Bay, so anything that does fall towards the evening hours will be rain. And then same thing for Lab City. Periods of rain, 10 degrees. Southeasterlies, 30 to 50. So a little bit stronger winds for you as that system approaches. And then up through Nain, still looking at that chance of showers and 3 degrees. Now, the weekend is what we're going to go towards. When I come back, I'll have all those details coming up.
There's an old saying, if you build a better mousetrap, the world will beat a path to your door. Well, it turns out if you build a really good piece of fish processing equipment, the world will take notice too. That's what's happened here at the Canadian Centre for Fisheries Innovation in St. John's. To find out more about this story, we're joined now by Jane Adey, the host of the broadcast on CBC Radio. This is intriguing, Jane. I think our audience might recall something about this story a couple of years ago.
That's right. So it was a profile of this new technology called a robotic crab cell. And the exciting update about this story is that this technology has just received a U.S. patent. The idea wasn't to take jobs away from people. We were losing these jobs anyway because of such cheap labor costs in places like China. So the idea was to cut the crab in such a way to get the meat out as efficiently as possible. It was an idea first developed by Robert Verge. He's the managing director at the Canadian Centre for Fisheries Innovation, and I'm going to let him remind people how this technology actually works.
The crab is fed in on a conveyor. As it passes along that conveyor, there's a camera that takes a picture of it. The camera sends the image to a processing unit, a computer, that analyzes it, determines the size of the crab and its characteristics, its orientation on the belt, and so on. It then sends instructions to the pick-and-place robot, as we call it, that will then pick up that crab and put it in a fixture in the right position for another robot to go to work on it. When the crab is in that fixture, another camera image is taken, which again is analyzed by the computer, and instructions are sent to the second robot, the cutting robot, that has a saw attached to it, essentially to cut the crab according to what we're trying to produce. We can produce conventional sections as they do in plants, but that's not really the purpose of the machine. Really, it's much better for what we're trying to do, to take the legs off, and that's what the robot is primarily intended to do.
So Jane, the update on this technology is the fact that it has been given this U.S. patent. What does this mean for the Innovation Center?
Well, this is a very big deal. It's very exciting news for the center to get a U.S. patent. And Robert Verge tells me that, in fact, there will be 10 more countries that will issue patents following this one. Now, the Canadian Centre for Fisheries Innovation does research and development. It doesn't sell this equipment, but it does license the technology to companies that can manufacture the equipment and sell it. So right now, fish processors and equipment manufacturers from all over the world have taken notice of this crab cutting technology, and they want in on it. Here's Robert Verge again.
There's no shortage of interest. The video that CBC shot 2 years ago when we demonstrated it seems to have gone viral. We've had lots of emails and inquiries and phone calls since that was shown, and there's a lot of interest in this technology, and a lot of interest from people who want to work with us in relation to this and probably other robotic projects as well. This is very distinctive technology. That's what a patent says. I mean, nobody else basically can do what it can do. And so we're leading the world with this technology.
This is so exciting that there could be even more projects on the horizon.
Yes, it really is. And you know, when I spoke with Robert Verge, he of course said that it was his idea to try and develop this technology. But he gives really high praise to the engineers at the Canadian Centre for Fisheries Innovation who worked on this project over the course of many, many years. He says it's technology that stands up to anything in the world. He says it's a real point of pride for the people at the Canadian Centre for Fisheries Innovation, and it has put the centre and this province on the map in terms of fish processing technology. So it is very exciting news.
It is indeed. Thank you so much, Jane, for telling us about this latest development.
You're very welcome.
Boy, you were so happy, boy, I'm going to tell you what. I never seen it so happy before in my life, boy.
He's the best on-camera community channel personality, and our pal at the Burgeo Broadcasting System gave his $2,000 prize to feed kids through the local school's lunch program. Stay tuned, trust me. Well, we have to pay some attention now to a media competitor in this province, the Burgeo Broadcasting System. Steve Hiscock, the local anchor there, has won an award as Best On-Camera Community Channel Personality. Now, accepting the award on Steve's behalf is Uncle Sam. He's a special correspondent with the BBS. Uncle Sam, welcome to Here and Now.
Well, boy, I never thought I would be here, boy.
Well, I'm glad you could make it. So listen, I know Steve can't be here right now. How did Steve react to winning this award?
Boy, he was so happy, boy. I'm going to tell you what. I never seen this so happy before in my life, boy. But I would be more happy if it was me.
Yeah, no question. Now, this award was a recognition of his abilities, and he won both from the votes that were cast as well as the judging. So he won $2,000?
$2,000 in total, boy. That's a lot of money.
So what's going to happen with that money?
He's going to give it away, boy, to the charity over at the Burgeo Academy, boy.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean?
So
it gives you a lot of news, right?
Yeah. So is he? So this is going to some food program there, if I understand.
Yes, sir. It's going to the snack program, boy, where all the kiddies get all kinds of treats, like apples and stuff they give to them dinner times or recess, boy.
Oh, okay. So that's the snack program at Burgeo Academy, right?
Yes, sir.
Well, this must have caused quite a bit of buzz in Burgeo, right?
Oh, my son, everybody's so proud, boy. Boy, I'm going to tell you, for a small community in Newfoundland, boy, I tell you what, it's a big honor. I'm going to tell you that.
No question. Now, listen, I know that Steve is lurking around there somewhere. Can you go and find him for us? Because I wouldn't mind talking to Steve if we could.
Yes, my son.
Okay.
I'm going to tell you, I look forward to seeing you on TV. Anyway,
okay.
Bye.
Okay, nice to talk to you, Uncle Sam. That's Uncle Sam. He is a special correspondent with the Burgeo Broadcasting System. We want to talk to his colleague, Steve Hiscock, who hopefully isn't too far away. There he is. Hey, listen, congratulations, Steve.
Oh, thank you so much. I apologize for Uncle Sam. He gets really, really excited.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. You don't get much airtime, but when he do, he gets very excited.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if I was talking to Uncle Sam or Old Sam there for a moment. So you went to the school today to announce that you'd won. What was their reaction like?
Oh, they were more than excited. You know what I mean? Just knowing that I was able to give them $2,000 and that their voting helped in the effort in me winning this award.
Well, listen, it was very generous of you to do that. I want to congratulate you once again. We had you on Here and Now once, and you talked about the fact that even though you have a stutter, you decided to give it your all and come into broadcasting. How did it feel when they called you or wrote you and said, hey, Steve Hiscock, you're the winner?
Boy, I was shocked and honored because, I did not really think that a person from a little outport community in Newfoundland would be able to make that kind of impact, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, listen, Steve, I know everybody in Burgeo is talking about it. I've seen it on social media, $2,000. It's a great cause there at the Academy for Snacks and the snack program. Congratulations once again. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, too.
Oh, it's great
there
news.
you go, Steve and Uncle Sam. Yeah.
Now, Steve wants to thank all of the people in the province who voted for him.
Mm-hmm. Now, the CCSA awards, they come from the Canadian Communications Systems Alliance, and that group represents more than 100 companies that provide TV and internet services right across Canada. Back to our top story tonight, the Muskrat Falls inquiry and the explosive testimony from Auditor General Julia Mullally. Now, Mullally was the top civil servant in Newfoundland and Labrador from 2013 to 2016, and today she accused senior Nalcor officials of being dishonest about the project's costs. And much of the morning was taken up with a discussion of notes that Mullally took when she was clerk of the Executive Council. Mullally says she left her notebooks within the government when she changed jobs, but they've since disappeared. And today, another effort started to find those missing notes.
We did go back again afterwards, and I asked if I could come over to see it and look, I guess, because you know, obviously we haven't worked there. I know the layout of the offices, and in particular around the area where we would call the vault, where there's a lot of files. I thought they might be in there, so I guess offered to come over and you know, see if I could search. But I did have a call back, and I mean, you know, what was relayed to me was all the areas they searched, everything they done, and you know, I was satisfied with that.
So this was a letter. There's something on page 2 that I would ask you to consider. If it was prepared by the Government of Newfoundland and Labrador Executive Council. And by the way, this is signed by Iris Power, Director, Information Management. It says, on May 10th, 2019, a further request was received through Ms. Mullally's solicitor, Andy Fitzgerald, for access to storage locations in order to conduct a search for the notebooks. It was determined that access to our storage locations could not be granted due to security reasons. Based on this, it appears that you personally, and perhaps with your solicitor, wanted to do your own physical search. Is that correct?
Yes, I offered to come over because I know the area, and I just thought, you know, I just would like to satisfy myself, I guess, that they're not in the particular room I was thinking of was.
Yeah, and at this time you're the Auditor General of the province,
Yes.
right? So on May 10th, 2009. So what security reasons would stand in the way of your gaining access to perform your own search?
Well, I would say what I would expect it to be is probably cabinet records. So the Auditor General does not, one of the only ones actually in Canada that does not have access to cabinet records. So I'm surmising that's why, because that room would have, you know, a lot of the cabinet records in them. So I would think that's what that would be.
Yeah, but that can be dealt with easily by you going in with someone.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but were you told on May 10th that the reason you were denied access was that you didn't have a security clearance?
No, that's the first time I saw that.
These notes are very important to me, and I'm not prepared to give up yet. So if you were granted permission to go into that room with others there to ensure that you're not looking at what you shouldn't be looking at, could you do that at noon today?
Sure, I could, yeah.
So, Mr. Ralph, I want Ms. Mullally to go into whatever that file room, vault room is, and I want her to have an opportunity to physically search herself. And I'm not asking that she be given access to documents that she shouldn't see or whatever, and I think that can be easily monitored by Ms. Power or anybody else that wants to be there. But I want her to physically go in there because I want every effort made to try to see if we can locate those notes.
So after Justice LeBlanc's direction, Julia Mullally did go to that vault at the Confederation building today, but she didn't find her missing notebooks. It's believed that they have been discarded.
To national news now, a Quebec judge has ordered SNC-Lavalin to stand trial on corruption and fraud charges. The engineering giant had been lobbying the federal government for months to avoid conviction.
Very clear is that we respect the independence of our judiciary, and we're not going to comment on an ongoing court case. But as I've said many times, we're always going to try and fight for Canadian jobs in ways that uphold the rules.
SNC-Lavalin is accused of bribing Libyan government officials and defrauding various Libyan organizations. The case also sparked a major political controversy that saw 2 cabinet ministers quit Trudeau's Liberal cabinet. It was after allegations that top government officials were pressuring then Attorney General Jody Wilson-Raybould to negotiate a preferred prosecution agreement with the company. The deal would have seen SNC-Lavalin pay a fine instead of facing prosecution. SNC-Lavalin said it expected the charges and plans to vigorously defend itself.
To the United States now. For the first time since the start of the Russian investigation, U.S. Special Counsel Robert Mueller spoke out, and what he said has many Democrats questioning, is it time to impeach the president? Lindsay Duncombe reports.
In the aftermath of the Mueller report, one of the big unanswered questions was why didn't the special counsel make a decision when it came to charging the president with obstruction of justice? Robert Mueller answered that question today.
A president cannot be charged with a federal crime while he is in office. That is unconstitutional.
Mueller pointed out his report was far from an exoneration of the president.
If we had had confidence that the president clearly did not commit a crime, we would have said so.
That presentation is a contrast to how the Attorney General William Barr presented the report's conclusions and the president's repeated assertions that he is exonerated.
The special counsel has clearly demonstrated that President Trump is lying.
Mueller's comments increase pressure on House Speaker Nancy Pelosi to start impeachment proceedings. Her message today, no, at least not yet.
Many constituents want to impeach the president, but we want to do what is right and what gets results.
Robert Mueller does not plan to testify in front of Congress. He wants these to be his final words on the investigation.
There were multiple, systematic efforts to interfere in our election. And that allegation deserves the attention of every American.
The president has paid little attention to concerns about election interference. Donald Trump's response today, a tweet saying nothing's changed and declaring his innocence. Republicans in Congress are standing with him. Lindsay Duncombe, CBC News, Washington.
In the UK, Boris Johnson, the perceived front-runner to replace British Prime Minister Theresa May, has landed in some legal trouble. The Tory leadership candidate is facing 3 charges of misconduct in public office. The Brexit supporter is accused of lying about the cost of EU membership. Court documents say he repeatedly misled the public that the UK gave Europe £350 million per week. That's nearly 600 Canadian dollars. The since debunked figure was used by him and pro-Brexit groups in the lead-up to the 2016 referendum. Johnson's legal team says the case is politically motivated.
Something as simple as a broken arm costs you $40,000, or, worst case scenario, you have to have your body repatriated into the country, and that can be an astronomical expense.
Leaving town? Get the lowdown on medical insurance.
What's covered by MCP and what's not when you leave the province. Well, was today a sign of things to come? Don't know. That's why you're here.
That's why I'm here. Temperature-wise, yes, actually.
Oh, good.
We're going to stay a little bit warmer, which is kind of good news. But as far as precipitation goes, no. We are looking at a little bit of a messy weekend. We'll take a look at that. As far as what the future tracker is saying, that next system going to move in, bring rain for Labrador, and then eventually through the day on Friday, that's going to spread across the island as well. Could be heavy at times, and then up through Labrador with those temperatures in the overnight, again hovering close to or within the single digits. We could see that potential for some flurries again, and that's going to head towards the coast as we head towards Saturday morning. So here's a look at the temperatures. Like I said, going to stay in the teens for most of the island, 16 for Corner Brook, Port aux Basques 8, St. John's 9, and again sunshine to start, and then you'll see that cloud cover move in with that potential for showers through the day. Happy Valley Goose Bay hovering around 6 degrees, Nain 3, so either rain or snow through the day, and then Lab City as well, 5 degrees with either rain or snow through the day. So this system that is going to move in is slow moving. So we're going to see its effects through the day on Saturday as well. Don't think Saturday will be a washout. We could see some clearing skies through the day, especially for the island, clipped by a few showers, of course. Otherwise, that next one, or the same system, is going to continue to affect Lab City. So it's going to be generally gray. That will actually move west, which is not normal. Normally we see things move from west to east. So in behind that we could see some clearing skies. Happy Valley Goose Bay, likely going to see some showers in the afternoon on Sunday. And then Monday, this one looks like it could bring some heavy rainfall for parts of the island, but definitely it's still a few days away, but we're definitely looking at keeping an eye on that one. So over the next 5 days, tomorrow, normal temperatures finally. 12 degrees is what we should be sitting at this time of year. Looks like we should hit 14. Just to put that into perspective, we've only hit double-digit temperatures 7 days this month, so this is certainly welcome news. Friday, some rain again moving in, clearing skies on Saturday, and then Sunday does look like it's the best chance of seeing some rain at 9 degrees, 14 for Monday, but again with those periods of rain moving in heavy at times. Central Newfoundland, 15 degrees tomorrow. You're going to stay in those teens right across the board. The weekend does look unsettled, though, with rain right through Monday. And then Western Newfoundland, sunshine and 18 degrees tomorrow, 16 on Friday. Again, those double-digit mid-teen temperatures right through the weekend. Just a chance on Sunday of showers, that heavier rain moving in on Monday. For Eastern Labrador, 10 degrees tomorrow, 6 on Friday. These temperatures keep bumping up and down, so anticipate a couple of degrees change here or there. Saturday, Sunday looks rainy, and then same for Monday as well. Western Labrador, generally gray skies to continue through the weekend and into Monday morning. Rain or snow, it looks like, for Friday with your temperature hovering around 5 degrees. So that's a look at that. I'll have your weather photo when I come back.
Well, from weather to travel plans, let's take a look at insurance.
Yeah, good weather goes with travel plans. The Lowdown is a series which you've seen on Here and Now, and it's brought to you by our CBC Investigates team, and it's all about news that you can use.
Yep, CBC's Jen White has this advice on why you should check your coverage before packing your bags.
Do you have travel plans on the horizon? MCP might have you covered, but it's important to check before you leave the province. Here's the lowdown on travel medical insurance coverage. The Department of Health and Community Services says MCP provides some coverage for people who temporarily leave Newfoundland and Labrador, but there are healthcare-related services that MCP doesn't cover or only partially covers, even within Canada, and that means you'll be on the hook to pay for it. That can include hospital-related charges, clinic treatments, and ambulance services.
There are certain maximum allowances, so you need to really review the terms and conditions of your insurance policies, especially if you're going off the beaten path, doing more things that wouldn't necessarily be close access to a hospital in the event you need to be medevac somewhere.
Make sure you have adequate insurance to protect yourself against unexpected medical emergencies, especially while traveling to other countries like the United States, where healthcare costs can be high.
You could be required to pay upfront before any medical services are received. You could have no coverage at all. Those things could be something as simple as a broken arm, cost you $40,000, or, worst case scenario, you have to have your body repatriated into the country, and that can be an astronomical expense.
Before you travel, check what coverage you have with your employer's healthcare plans, or if there's a program you can opt into. If you don't have extra coverage, you can buy it from an insurance broker or a travel agent.
If you have or you think you have travel medical insurance through your credit card, it's really important to carefully read the policy. Every credit card supplier is different. What was covered on one may not be covered on the other. You want to really look at who is covered. Is it just the person who the credit card is issued to? Are there any maximum amounts and deductibles? So those vary widely.
Neary says there are websites that list what your credit card covers and also compares that coverage to other cards.
So you want to make sure that your travel medical insurance provides coverage. In the event of a worst case scenario, you want to protect yourself and your loved ones.
Well, here's another summary shot. I long for this.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
So cool. Can't wait to get my canoe out. I know this is kayak, but yeah, so this photo was taken on a lake somewhere in Central.
That could be Terra Nova Lake.
It could be. I'll tell you exactly where it was taken and who sent us this wonderful photo when we come back.
Welcome back once again. Well, for some people, Anthony, it's the ultimate bucket list experience.
Yes, why go to Paris for romance when you could have a chance to zip line from the balcony of the Eiffel Tower? This temporary zip line celebrates the French Open, of course, a major tennis tournament, and will be in place until June the 2nd. Most of the lucky riders were selected. Yes, indeed, they were selected, so they actually chose to try to get this in an online draw.
But additional winners will be chosen on site. So you still have a shot at this if you can get yourself to Paris. Not for the faint.
He's laughing. That's pretty high up.
It is, yeah.
But what a beautiful view of Paris.
There's that. But that's why you can just stand in the tower.
I was just
going
to say, just get up to the top.
I don't know. I'd be totally into that.
Yeah, I'm sure it would be fun.
Okay.
The pilot in me likes to be, you know.
High in the sky.
High in the sky, exactly.
Yeah. So let's find out where that kayak was.
We will find out where that kayak was.
Debbie got it right?
Nope. It is north of Badger on a lake called Paul's Lake.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah.
What a beautiful calm day.
This is Paul's kayak.
Yeah, it was a calm weekend. Yeah, Shane's kayak. Shane Jackman sent us that photo. Thank you so much for sending that in. I'm sure lots of us can't wait to get out on the water. Yeah.
Kayak envy.
I'm looking forward to that for sure. And of
Same.
course, you're always looking for more pictures. So
Absolutely. Send them to nlphotos@cbc.ca.
Be good to get out for a paddle pretty soon, wouldn't it?
Soon. I can't wait. Got to pull that canoe out. Yeah.
All right. Thanks for watching.
That's our program. See you tomorrow.
Good night.